And we also have Simon Helberg,
Mm-hmm.
who's
Famously
best
known
known from
for, yeah.
the one of the worst TV shows of all time, The Big Bang Theory.
Hey, my mom loves that show. Okay.
Fight me, Elijah's mom, fight me. But he's pretty great in it. But this movie is absolutely insane.
Wow, it's a new year. Does it feel like it for you, Justin?
No,
not yet. What is gonna have to happen for you to be like, oh, okay, it's 2022?
I don't know.
Interesting. It's just gonna be a sporadic moment. It's just like, oh, yep, there it is.
Since 2020, everything's been pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It feels like one just year stretched. It's like I feel like we're in volumes right now. Like 2020 was first volume. Now we're 2021 was 2020 volume 2, and now we're just at volume 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a cynical way of looking at it, but I mean,
I could see that. For me, I think maybe I'm gonna feel like it's 2022 when I see the new Scream, because I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, dude. No, we get that.
14th.
Yeah, we get that so soon. We get that within the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I gotta gear up for that. Like, I gotta start getting in that mindset of that next movies are gonna come out again that I've been waiting for. Like Spider-Man came and went. I feel how I feel now. Now it's all up to Scream. Scream's holding my nostalgia again.
I wanted to see Spider-Man yesterday, but things fell through.
Damn, you still haven't seen it, huh?
I still haven't seen it, but I know pretty much everything that happened though, because I just couldn't help myself. I needed to, so I saw some stuff, but yeah, I want to actually see it though, and not go on Reddit.
Right. Yeah, it's still worth experiencing, definitely. I mean, it's a Spider-Man movie, so
yeah, it's the ultimate Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, some say.
I mean, I've heard it being I've heard that it's really good, but people are comparing it unfavorably to Spider-Verse, which I already said. I think you and I already said in the beginning, we've heard that they were going to have all the Spider-Man in it. I was kind of okay, Sony.
So much time has passed that I feel like I can say that I think this movie is definitely going to be integrated into Spider-Verse, especially because Spider-Verse is a two-parter. So the second part it's a trilogy. So the third one I feel like could be at the very end, it's gonna be show all 4 Spider-Man and finally show the live action Miles Morales or something.
That'd be cool.
Something like that.
That'd be cool. That would be interesting if they do another live action Spider-Man movie, because I know that Tom Holland's
it's got to be something like that.
Back. Yeah, it really does. Because if they just try to recast Spider-Man again, I think people are going to be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. What episode is this? 42.
Yeah, we're almost at our 1 year.
Yeah, I think we have some things to do. We might do something cool. Maybe have some 1 year anniversary limited merch. I don't know. Maybe that's we'll see.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about that. I was dude, because we started this in March, right?
February.
Oh, damn. So it's coming. February. It's coming close. This is the longest relationship I've had in a long time.
I know it's going strong, I think, though.
Yeah.
Welcome to History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost a year into doing this, which is insane to think about. But we're still here, and we made it through 2021 and all the movies that came out of it, good and bad. But this week, Justin and we're going to be talking about our favorites of this year. If you don't know what History of Popcorn is, and you are just tuning in suddenly, just clicked, and you find yourself here, History of Popcorn is just I would say a plethora of fun. That's how it says in the description. But we are a celebration of all things films. We do movie news. We do, we haven't done in a long time, DCOM Revisited, where we revisit Disney Channel original movies. We have to do that really soon because it's been a while. But
Yeah, we didn't do one Christmas decom.
that's insane. Yeah, well, the
I know.
holidays seem, I don't know. There's a lot going on, I feel like, in December for us.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
we
no,
are your hosts. I'm Elijah, and that's Justin. Right.
I was just gonna say, since we're doing like our top 10 movies of the year,
Mhm.
I did manage to do a top 10 actually surprisingly easily.
I did manage to do it.
I thought, well, I mean, like I just thought it was gonna be a lot harder,
Oh,
but
okay.
like I like the movies that I listed out, like I think I listed out like out of all the movies I saw this year, like 12 like really stuck out to me. And then picking out like the 10 was like actually a lot easier. But I have not seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, like you said, there are a lot of movies that I haven't seen either, which is normal because I miss a lot of movies and it takes me a while to catch up. Yeah, you haven't seen a lot. But so the way my list goes though is I make a list as after a movie. I'm like, that's gonna make it on my list. And then as soon as I reach 10 movies, I just start bumping movies off the list. So that's been my method for the last few years. So everything that I have is chronological of when I saw it, not when it came out, but when I saw it. So yeah, the big disclaimer is that both of us have a lot to catch up on still. I still have to see The French Dispatch. I still have to see, there's still quite a few that I've just seen Nightmare Alley as well. There's like, yeah, the disclaimer is that we have to see a lot. But I guess
we're trying.
We are trying our best. We will get around to seeing the other movies. But let's get right into it. I will let you start from wherever you want to start.
So I actually did I was just going to have it be where there's like no order, but I actually did put an order on this one because like I said, I thought this was gonna be a lot harder, but actually it was
interesting. From least favorite to favorite.
No. Well, I mean, you know, these are all my favorite movies of the year, but you know, it's just like I have like a 10, 9, 8, blah blah.
Oh, yeah, but then down. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to start us off with number 10 is for me. I thought I was not going to like this movie. I didn't really like the trailers, but then I watched it and I thought it was such a positive and funny movie. It's not that original, but I just thought it was really, really funny. It's a Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that is a great one.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those movies where like it's not it's pretty stupid and it's not very original, but for as much as it does in it, it's pretty much the Lego movie, but I don't know, there's just something about it that I just thought was like really, really fun. And as I was watching it, the entire time I was watching it, I had a huge smile on my face, and it wasn't forgettable too. Like there are a lot of scenes in it that I actually still remember like right now, and I was like, that was actually really, really funny or really clever or really cute. Like there's a lot of cute moments in the movie too. But yeah, it's nothing really to write home about, but I mean, like for what we've been through the past couple years, this is a movie where I'm like, okay, this is like something that we really need, where you can shut your off and you can have a lot of fun with it. And there are a lot of fun characters and actors that are having fun, even though Ryan Reynolds is pretty much doing the same thing. In this movie, he's like so, in other movies we see him in, he's so kind of cynical, but this one he's like, it's the complete opposite. It's just his character is very sweet and innocent, and you really do care about him. And I don't know, I liked it a lot. So
I liked that one too a lot. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would because not because all the reasons you said, it was just very good and you feel good afterward. And it's a feel good movie. It was one of the best. Like I think that one went under the radar. Maybe it didn't. I don't know how well it did in the box office, but the way I started to think about it after I saw The Matrix Resurrections, I was like talking about it later. I was like, I feel like everyone should just watch Free Guy instead.
Yes.
To feel better. Oh, yeah. Like they'll feel a lot better about it afterward. Because I still I can't wrap my head around The Matrix Resurrections. Maybe one day we'll talk about it in the coming weeks. But Free Guy is a good pick, number 10.
Thank you.
That's really good, actually. I agree with everything you said. So this was the first one that I wrote down last year. This one is Malcolm and Marie. It was the Netflix movie that they shot.
Oh yeah,
and it was a big deal that they shot it over the pandemic. It was a very tiny production. Malcolm and Marie is the Zendaya, What's his name? Washington.
David Washington.
John David Washington, Denzel's son. They made this movie. It's just them, and it takes place in one night, which are I always love movies like that. And it's by the creator of Euphoria. I've only seen two of his movies, which was Assassination Nation and Malcolm and Marie. I haven't seen Euphoria, but it's from Sam Levinson, the creator of that. So you can kind of get this visual idea that he's going to do something creative with it. But he shot this on black and white film. So it's to me in my head when I was watching the movie, all the shots are very important and time consuming, especially because it's on film, which is just a lot different to me as a person who knows how that, like all that, how, like the conversion of it is not easy anymore. And it's actually dying and it's people want to get that visual. And as annoying as that might sound to people, like that's a huge thing that I took away from it, is like how delicate they were about the process of making this film, especially during the, pandemic, right in the peak of it, like right when everything started. So they didn't know how to do it, but so they were as careful as possible. And the acting is good. The story is very simple. It's just a relationship between a screenwriter, I believe, and an actress. It's really good. It's a really good movie. Zendaya's performance really shows.
I totally forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely forgot about it. And that was I'm pretty sure like the first movie to like have like a production during the pandemic, I believe.
Yeah. It was such a small production too, which is just went under, like not under the radar, but like, yeah, they had to do it that way, which is insane to me.
Yeah. Especially compared to Assassination Nation. I would have never guessed that was the same director, because that movie's fucking batshit insane.
I didn't know that was until I was just looking this up too. I was like, wow.
He's also, Sam Levinson is also the son of Barry Levinson, the guy that did Rain Man and Good Morning Vietnam. A lot of good movies. He kind of went to the bad territory, but he still did some good stuff. Yeah, it's a good one. I need to watch that one still.
Oh wow, still you haven't seen that?
I still haven't watched. I totally forgot about that. Number 9 for me is one of the funniest movies I've seen in quite a long time, and I've seen it plenty of times now. And I totally forgot it came out this year, because this year, just like I said, like it's just been long. So, but it's Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Still haven't seen that,
dude. Oh my god, I'm not going to talk too much about it, because I just feel like people should go see it. And the best part is not knowing what's to come. But my comparison is if if Austin Powers and Wet Hot American Summer had a baby, and the baby somehow managed to be like a little bit funnier than either one, which is saying a lot. And it's like I can't praise this movie enough. It stars Kristen Wiig and her co-writing partner. They both wrote Bridesmaids. This is their follow-up to Bridesmaids. Annie Malo, might be messing up that last name, but she's hysterical. But also a shout out to Jamie Dornan, who's best known as for 50 Shades of Grey, and the new Belfast movie, which I should add to that list. I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard good things. But no, this movie is absolutely hysterical. It's insane, and it's just, everyone should watch it. It's on Hulu, so there's no excuse anymore. So everyone should just go see it. It's really, really funny. So yeah, that's my number 9. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen that yet. You've talked about it a few times over the year. Yeah, that's also, I'm gonna watch that really soon then.
And every single person that I've had watch it, or I've watched it with, all left being like, it's stupid as hell, but it's so funny. And it's good to have a good, stupid comedy like this again. It feels like a comedy from, and I say this in the best way, it feels like a comedy from the early 2000s to mid 2010s, where you just don't give a shit, just go balls to the wall. And it is kind of the method of throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks, but somehow everything fucking sticks, even if it's this most ludicrous, stupidest thing in the entire world. It's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the passion is strong in that one. I've always noticed that. So I do have to
Yeah.
see that. I think you might have this on your list. This next one came out February, and it is Nobody. Bob Odenkirk's Nobody, where he finally plays the action star. Better Call Saul's Bob Odenkirk. Bob,
Yes.
who is we had a little scare last year about him, but he's A-okay. But Nobody was, it was, I feel like, I don't know, it's a very good action film in the way it's like better than Taken, I think, and in the way of someone going into action as their genre. Like hopefully Bob Odenkirk does some incredible stuff after this that like he wants to do, like produce himself, because I guess he reached out to the screenwriter or something to write a movie or an action movie with him, and then they like reached out to the director and they made this. Bob Odenkirk wanted to make an action film basically, and this is what they came up with. So I think that's really cool, and I hope he does more of this kind of stuff where he can really embody a character like he did in Nobody. So everyone should watch that. And Christopher Lloyd is in it. If that's a spoiler for you, I'm sorry, because I think he might have been in the trailers, but I forgot. He's incredible, and it was good to see Christopher Lloyd. So go see Nobody if you get a chance.
Yeah, that is definitely on my list, and I'll save my thoughts for that until I get to it. That was your number 9, right?
Yes.
All right. And my number 8, this movie came out just recently, like literally like not even a week ago, or maybe exactly a week ago. And it's a very controversial movie. It's very divisive. People don't really like it that much. And then people really do love it. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's called Don't Look Up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, dude. No. Okay. So I've now watched the movie 3 times, and I just think it's great. Like, I know I see what people don't like about it, but it's just everything that I actually do love. And even though it is it's really, really funny. It's probably Adam McKay's like funniest satire, like not including his Will Ferrell movies. This little like weird trilogy that he's doing right now with The Big Short, Vice, and Don't Look Up, where they're comedies, but they're fucking depressing and real and telling you the truth of what's really going on. Yeah. Depending on how you look at everything. But it's really, really, really fucking funny, but it's also just fucking depressing. And don't expect, it's not a feel-good movie. Unlike Free Guy I was talking about. It's not a movie you leave being like, oh, I feel good about myself. It's a movie where you're just like, oh, this could like happen like any year now. And that's absolutely terrifying. But it's still really, the cast is great. Leonardo DiCaprio has one of the greatest movie monologue rants I've seen in a long time, where it's really funny, but it's like he's great in it. And I'm not a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, but he can act like a motherfucker. And like this movie, he does a great job. Even Jennifer Lawrence does a great job, and I haven't said that in forever. And she even does a great job. But the biggest standout is Jonah Hill. It's just great to see Jonah Hill. And he has so many moments in this, especially at the end, like this little tiny monologue at the end, like less than a minute long monologue. And his acting is just perfect. And I just think that it was just great to see him do that again. I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't really like it that much. It is a little long. It's a little too long, but I don't know. I thought it was great. And you have just a lot of people in it, and everybody's utilized very well. I didn't think that there was one actor that wasn't utilized very well. Like even Ron Perlman, who's not even in it for that long, he has great shit that he says. He's the astronaut, and like it's literally modern day Dr. Strangelove. And if you don't know Dr. Strangelove, then this movie and that, it's a great double feature. But once again, it's gonna be the most depressing double feature of all time. But it's very entertaining, it's very funny, but it's definitely not gonna make you be like, oh, I feel good about the world.
But yeah, I just forgot that what's his name was in that movie too, and they cut him out, and I was like, dang, I wonder what he was gonna do. It was Matthew Perry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was supposed to do something in it, but they might have cut a scene or something. I don't know what he was supposed to do.
The same thing with John C. Reilly was supposed to be in it too.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't
And
see
so
him in that either. Yeah.
they probably had like like knowing already how long this movie was, they probably could have made like a mini series off of this.
Yeah, that's a good one though.
Mhm.
It is worth watching.
Yeah,
Just
I love it.
be in a safer environment when you do watch it.
Yes.
That one didn't make my list, and I thought it would. Don't look up. But this next one is a Nicolas Cage movie. Can you guess what it is?
Pig.
It is Pig, which is now on
Ah, man,
Hulu, so
still haven't
everyone
seen
can
it.
watch it. So now that you know it's on my list of favorite movies of 2021, which was a year of a lot of badness, we can all watch Pig, the movie where it sounds pretty strange on paper, but it is what it is. Nicolas Cage has to find his truffle pig in, I think it's Southern Oregon, and he has to run to Portland, the city where he has avoided going for years and years and years, with this young man who's played by Alex Wolff, who gives a very, very good performance. After seeing this performance of his, I think he should play so many roles. I think he should play Robin in DC. I think he should play Harry Osborn for Spider-Man. I think he should play everything
Interesting.
after this movie because
Right.
he gives a very good performance. But it goes in a direction. It's a pretty dark movie, and it goes in a direction that I was not expecting at all. Like it's like a unraveling type of movie where you just demand answers, and it really immerses you. For the first time director, Pig is beautiful, and it made me want to shoot a movie in Oregon really bad.
Yeah, I still need to see that. I really do.
Yeah, it's quite somber. It's a very somber performance from Nicolas Cage,
Mhm.
actually. It's pretty cool.
All right. So my number 7 is In the Heights. Elijah, this might be on your list as well because him and I really liked this movie this year. But it was one of like the 3 musicals I'm going to be talking about on this that are on this list.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, In the Heights is Lin-Manuel Miranda's his very first Broadway production where he composed the music, he wrote the songs, and he wrote the book, and he also starred in the original production. This is the movie adaptation of that show, and it completely blew me away. Like I loved everything about it. It's if you, especially if you love Lin-Manuel Miranda and his stuff, which he had a huge year this year, then you'll absolutely love this movie. The cinematography especially is just absolutely amazing. And the choreography, there's this one scene, 96,000, when they're singing about this lottery ticket and they're at this pool, which is one of the most visual pleasing musical sequences I've seen in quite a long time. And it kicked off the year because it was like pretty much one of the first, I don't think it was the first movie musical that came out this year, but or maybe it was, but it kicked off what was to come, and with other great musical movies.
And just
But
like blockbusters, kind of. I mean, it was one of the
yeah,
first big ones that was on HBO Max and theaters at the time, but
yes,
everyone was like hoping it would be a blockbuster to make movie theaters come back.
yeah, and it didn't. No,
Yeah.
nobody went to go see it in theaters, which kind of sucks. It was one of those movies where when I was watching it, I was like, damn, this would have been really cool to see it in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take what I can get. I watched it way too many times, and it's back on HBO Max right now too. So if you have HBO Max, then check the movie out because it's absolutely amazing.
It
And
is beautiful, yeah.
Anthony Ramos too, amazing. He's
Yeah.
the main guy in it. Everyone's great in it, but he's absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, it's just great.
I agree with you. It is great. It did not make my list, but
Ooh.
it was beautiful. And it was what I did watch it immediately after I saw it in theaters. I popped it on HBO Max, and I was like, I want to watch it again because it was that good.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. My next one I don't know if you're gonna like this one being on my list. I
Uh-oh.
know you saw this one. But this was a highly anticipated one of mine for a long time. This one is The Green Knight. It was my
Yeah.
Twitter name for a while. It's the cinematography, the colors are very beautiful. I saw it with my brother and my dad. And this is my dad went into it thinking it was going to be a big action medieval adventure.
You're not alone.
And my brother didn't know what to expect. And I expected the movie that I saw, and they did not enjoy the movie. So there's that. I can tell you that not everyone will enjoy this movie. I don't know if it's long. It is pretty long, I think. It's it is medieval, and the cinematography is unreal. The world that they go into is surreal. I don't know how to really explain it except for Dev Patel stars in this movie about where he has to just go on an adventure to get redemption for his pride or something like that in vague terms. I don't like giving away too many plot details, but just watch the trailer and know that that's one of my favorite movies. If you didn't like it, I understand. There's a lot of very uncomfortable stuff in it, like a lot.
Yeah. No, that was the first movie that I saw in a theater since I saw the movie that we did
Since
From
everything,
the
like
Dark.
all the theaters officially opened again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I saw it with two of my buddies. One of them really, really loved it. The other one really hated it. I was like right in the middle. And I think the biggest part, the best part, the two best parts are actually three best parts. The cinematography, of course, the set design, and Dev Patel. Everything else I can see, it's very long. There's one scene where he's just like, just walking. I remember sitting there just being like, okay, all right, this is a lot. This is enough walking.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
So my number 6 is another movie musical, and this is definitely something that nobody really knows about. It's the weird one on my list. The weirdest movie, definitely the weirdest movie I've seen this year, and in quite some time. But I loved it, absolutely loved it, and I understand why people don't like it and won't like it. But it's called Annette with Adam Driver and Marion. Oh man, what's that girl's name? She was nominated for a Golden
Courtyard
Globe.
or something.
Yeah. She was great in it.
I remember you telling me about this one. Yeah.
And we also have Simon Helberg,
Mm-hmm.
who's
Famously
best
known
known from
for
the one of the worst TV shows of all time, The Big Bang Theory.
Hey, my mom loves that show. Okay.
Fight me, Elijah's mom. Fight me. But he's pretty great in it. But this movie is absolutely insane, and it's a rock opera basically, and all the songs are sang live. So it's like Les Mis kind of. So I mean, like there are plenty of parts. It's a very rough musical, and it's kind of hard to get through. There's barely any dialogue in it. It's mainly just everybody singing everything. It's very much like Les Mis, but I think honestly to me it's better.
Oh wow. Didn't
And
this
it's crazy.
who did the music for it? It's Sparks, right?
Yeah, Sparks. Yeah.
Who also
So
had an Edgar Wright directed documentary about them the same year that came out. So they had a big year, I guess. I haven't seen either of those yet, but I'm very interested in both. Go on.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's on Amazon Prime. I saw this movie. I was with this girl at the time, and she fell asleep before I did, and I wanted to watch something. I just saw Adam Driver's face, and I remember seeing a trailer for it a while ago, and I was like, "Fuck, why not?" And then I watched it, and immediately once it started, I was like, "Oh, this is." I love this. I absolutely.
Nice.
It's so rough. It's absolutely rough. Like because everybody's singing live. Sometimes the camera doesn't really hit the mark. That's why it's very interesting. It's such an interesting movie. But yeah, just everyone just go see it. It's really it's good. It's I know a lot of people aren't gonna like it, but I really did like it. I loved it. I mean, like I watched
really
it plenty of times. And Adam Driver. It's Adam Driver's best performance too, because it's a beautiful nightmare.
Mhm. This next one that I have, I think might have gone under some people's radar. Um, it definitely, I'm surprised it's on my list. Like I thought it was going to get bumped, but
Mm.
um, this one is a Jason Momoa movie, and it is not
Mm.
Dune. It is not Dune. It's,
Oh yeah, that was
as I
another
said.
movie I should have put on my list. I still have not seen Dune. I'm
Oh
sorry,
wow.
continue.
No,
Yeah.
it's Dune. Dune's Dune. This one is a Jason Momoa movie. This is called Sweet Girl. It is a Netflix original. I believe
Oh,
Jason
interesting.
Momoa produced it as well. It also has Isabella Merced, who is the live action Dora the Explorer. For if you don't know, she's also in a few other things. But this movie is very interesting. It's an interesting premise. It's like an action movie, right? In the way of like a revenge type movie, but it's they're attacking like a very interesting, like I don't know, there's this like grounded reality to this more so than like watching like a Jason Bourne movie or something like that, you know.
Mhm.
And this movie is just a good action movie, like about a father and daughter, um, who is Bill Merced and Jason Momoa, and it's just a fun action movie. There's not too much depth to it, other than it's fun to watch, and I enjoyed it. The story is worth watching, and as a whole, I just think it's a worth watching. And I don't want to say too much about. It's a
That's
good movie. It's a
interesting.
good action movie that I think is worth watching.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about that movie, so that's interesting that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's on my list. So people might be surprised when they watch it and be like, "Really, this made his list?" But it just hit different, I guess.
So now we're at the top five.
Yo, the big
Top
ones,
five
the big
films
ones.
of the year so far. Of course, once again we have to see a lot more movies, but as of now, top five.
Yeah, yeah.
So my number five we've already talked about, is Nobody. I thought this movie was absolutely amazing. And I now realize I have to correct myself now because I said The Green Knight was the first movie that I saw this year.
Oh yeah, that was way back in
But
February, right? You saw it in
yeah,
February.
I saw Nobody, but I saw Nobody with my brother when I was in Vegas, and I totally actually forgot about that. But yeah,
Nice.
no, this movie absolutely amazing. Like Elijah pretty much said everything that needed to be said. Like, and it's pretty predictable, and but it's one of those movies where it's not about the plot at all. It's not even really about how like bad the villain is. It's just Bob Odenkirk and the amazing actions, and I just absolutely loved it.
That's a great way of putting it. It's like kind of like a roller coaster where you're like, I can see that it comes around here, but like I'm still gonna throw my hands up and enjoy the ride, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of putting
Yeah,
it, of you saying how like I know where it's going, but it's enjoyable. This next one has its flaws, I'm gonna say off the bat, story wise, but that there's a good reason for that, I think. Not to point fingers or anything, but this is the Edgar Wright movie Last Night in Soho. Um, you can never go wrong with Edgar Wright's visuals. And he knocks it out of the park with all of that again. Anya Taylor Joy. I thought her performance was a little underwhelming from what I'm kind of seeing. I'm kind of seeing a loop of what she can do, kind of.
uh-oh.
But it's
Elijah, that's your favorite though.
I know we'll see how the next couple of years play out. But um, Matt Smith is very good in it. Thomasin McKenzie, she's very good in it, and I hope I see more of her. I think she was also in that movie Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie Old. And
She's
I think
also in, Joe Rabbit.
yeah, oh yeah, that's the first time I saw her, I think.
Yeah.
So she watched Last Night in Soho over Old if you're gonna watch a movie that stars Thomasin McKenzie. But there's some obvious holes in this story of Last Night in Soho, which is half a horror movie, half a period piece, half um, maybe romance, maybe not, but it's pretty genre bending for Edgar Wright. But he collaborated with this other. It was a collaboration with the writing and the story. So there's some plot holes, it seems, and I think this just happens in the process of collaboration. So the story kind of unravels in a weird way by the third act, and you kind of just have to accept it, you know. Like I didn't like how a lot of things played out, but the visuals kind of try to cover it, but it doesn't really cover it up. But the visuals alone stuck out to me, and that's why it's stuck on my list again. I can't go wrong with Edgar Wright, even if the story has its problems. That's all I have to say
Yeah.
about Last Night in Soho.
So number 4, same people that did Spider-Verse. It's the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Ooh.
I love this movie so much. I think that the voice acting is amazing. The style is amazing, and it's that animation style that I think is really, it's just so unique. It's just so fun to watch, and this movie's definitely not better than Spider-Verse in any way, shape, or form, but it's a great follow-up to they were trying what they accomplished with that movie. And the voice acting is just amazing too. I just love the relationship between the family, and even when things get a little weird with the robots, it's a fantastic time. I loved it.
Let's see. So this one, did you notice that 2021 had quite a few Westerns come out?
Yes, I did.
One of those Westerns made my list, and that is The Harder They Fall. That is the Netflix original. I think it was an original, but it also came out in theaters in select cities. But it has quite the cast, especially because it has one of my favorite upcoming actors. Well, I guess he's a pretty hot commodity right now. I've read is Jonathan Majors and Zazie Beetz, and it also has well, I think it's one of Justin's favorites is Lakeith Stanfield, isn't it?
Maybe.
He's a very good character in it. But this is Idris Elba, and there's a lot of people in this movie. Regina King, right? Yes. This movie is beautifully shot. It's a good Western story. It has a lot of real history ingrained in its roots from real people that existed. So there's a lot of like Easter eggs like that for people who love history. Even if you don't, you can look up stuff afterward, and I was that interested afterward that I wanted to know about these people too, because of how they depict every character. Every character is so well done. And I hope everyone watches this. Like it's very, very good. A good Western movie. Wait, I think Kid Cudi is nominated for an Oscar for both of those, The Harder They Fall and Don't Look Up, for his original song.
Really?
I believe so. Or he's in it's being talked about.
Yeah, no, because the Oscar nominations haven't come out yet. Maybe he probably got nominated for Golden Globe.
Not officially nominated, but like they're like discussions. Like everyone's like, oh, his work is prevalent in the last two movies he did.
Good, he deserves it. So the third one on my list, I made Elijah watch. I remember when I first watched this, I just absolutely fell in love. It's really stressful movie, but it stuck with me even after I was done watching it, and it has a great leading performance by a comedian I really like called Rachel Sennett. It's Shiva Baby. It's a great stressful time, and it's good. It's one of those movies where the music, the cinematography, and the acting, especially from the lead actress, is all set up to be a horror movie. It looks like a horror movie, it acts like a horror movie, but it's really just about this family that are just going to Shiva after a family member dies.
It's a funeral.
And that's all you really need to know. And she has some secrets that she doesn't want her family to know about, and they start somehow this one life that she's currently living and this life that her family thinks that she's living, they merge into one evening, and it's all set during real time, so you're with her every step of the way. And the movie, the way that it portrays just panic attacks in general and just being with family and like the that like crazy
just modern
anxiety
pressure.
you have. It's so good. It's I called it a even more Jewish version of Uncut Gems. But the great thing about it, this compared to Uncut Gems, is that you get a more likable lead character, A, and B, it's a lot shorter. It's like half the time. It's not even this movie's
it's like
not
an
even
hour and 12 minutes or something.
Yeah,
and that's with credits.
Yeah, it's not even it doesn't even break an hour 20. So I mean, like it really does breeze by. But I'm telling you guys, the last scene of this movie, and Elijah and I talked about this before, the last scene of this movie, the last line of dialogue is so fucking funny. And you feel like once you hear this one line of dialogue, you just get this breath of fresh air because it's just so funny. And then the movie ends. And it's absolutely brilliant. And it's one of my favorite A24 movies. It's not my favorite A24 movie, though. That's going to come up soon.
Ooh.
But oh yeah, another controversial one, you know me. But yeah, Shiva Baby was a great time, and definitely check it out. It's good to have a good young voice out there. I think this movie's perfect for people that struggle with anxiety and all that good jazz. It's great.
That was a good one. That's on HBO right now, right? Or did they take it off for a little bit?
No, I think it's still on HBO Max. I think it's gonna stick there for a while. Yeah, so check that movie out. It's great.
It's A24.
It's like yeah. It's kind of like watching an extended short film,
which it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they had a short film version of it. So. But speaking of A24, that goes perfectly into my next one. This one came out. I think it came out in 2020 at Sundance. So it says 2020 on some things when you look it up, but it came out everywhere in 2021. So it's a 2021 movie. But this is an A24 movie. It's called 9 Days. Have you heard of this one?
The movie? Yeah, I've heard of that.
It was a smaller one, I think. I only saw it because I saw it on a flight. So I was like, I'm just going to pop this one on, put the headphones in and watch it. And I'm very glad that I did, because I had nothing else to do except watch this movie. Sure, it was a small screen, but it's an interesting movie to watch on the small screen because of how it's done. If you don't know, 9 Days is about this. It's done in a really weird way, but the synopsis is a recluse man conducts a series of interviews with human souls for a chance to be born. And it's shot entirely at this house in the desert, and the cast is very good. And the way it's shot is with a lot of VHS aesthetics. And I would just suggest watching this because there's a lot of themes of humanity and questions that are pretty interesting to hear people discuss. And Winston Duke from Black Panther is so good in it. Or if you know him from Us, he's a very good role in this. It has Benedict Wong, who's a very good actor in this, who's from the MCU. And Zazie Beetz is good, and Bill Skarsgård is good. Also, Tony Hale. Tony Hale is surprisingly, his performance is surprisingly heavy, and I've never seen him like that. I'm used to Buster Bluth. So 9 Days. I would suggest watching that.
This movie I'm going to talk about is another A24 movie. It's called Red Rocket, which is Sean Baker's latest feature film. He also did Tangerine, and he did this movie called Starlet, and he did his most recent one. Pretty sure is like most acclaimed is The Florida Project, which had Willem Dafoe. And this movie is way different. So if you've seen Tangerine, this movie and Tangerine kind of go hand in hand, because Tangerine is pretty heavy-handed in its themes about sex work and whatnot. So that's it's very interesting. But the movie and Red Rocket have an interesting parallel, which they both have this donut shop which is pretty much the same donut shop, and it's owned by the same lady in it, who's also a producer of all Sean Baker's movies. Simon Rex stars in this, who's in the Scary Movie franchise. He was in the third one, the fourth one mainly, and the fifth one, I think. And he's also known as Dirt Nasty. He plays this character named Mikey Saber, and who's ex porn star, goes back to his Texas City from LA after something really shitty happened. You're not rooting for this guy. It's another thing, it's controversial. He's like trying to pursue a 17-year-old, and it is disturbing seeing him do this. But it's not. The movie's never like, oh, we need to root for this guy ever. You're never rooting for him. But the best part about it is his performance and how you just see the downfall just continue. In the beginning of the movie, he's already at his lowest, and then he thinks with this that he's gonna go back on top. But you're watching him just get lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until he's right back to where he was in the beginning. Even though what I said sounds like a hardcore drama, it's so funny to watch this dude continue to be a complete fucking asshole. I'll compare this movie to Uncut Gems, because you're just watching this dude just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And even though everything he does is so bad, you want to see his comeuppance, and god damn it, he does. Yeah. But Tex is great in this, and Susanna Son, who plays Strawberry, the young girl he's trying to pursue, is absolutely great. And the woman that plays his ex-wife, I think it's Bree. She's just great too. And also the person that plays her mom, absolutely amazing. It's a hysterical movie, and it's something I couldn't take my eyes off of the entire time, even though most of the things that happen are pretty fucking gross and disturbing.
So you've been warned. I think this next one might be on your list. It might be the last one. I don't know.
Probably.
But I have Tick, Tick, Boom. Lin-Manuel Miranda's Tick, Tick, Boom. And I feel like we've been talking about this all year since we started the podcast. So it's a given that this is, we have a very good review. We have a movie review for quite a few of the movies we're talking about, actually. But Tick, Tick, Boom came out recently, and we have a review of it. So you can find out our thoughts on that. But it had to be on our list. It reached our expectations. Andrew Garfield hits it out of the park. Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a successful debut. So it's on Netflix. Watch it. What do you have to say about, is it on your list?
Number one. It's my number one movie of the year.
Give us a couple of your thoughts of it then.
I mean, yeah, no, it's something I've followed a lot. We did a review on it, so I won't go too much into it. But even though I said Simon Rex, one of my favorite performances of the year, the best performance of the year by far is Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom. He completely puts his heart and soul into the role of Jonathan Larson, and the music's great. The way that I think that they set it all up. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda did a fantastic job. I love that he just oozes the 90s with some of the musical performances and most of the shots and whatnot. And it's just a great movie. I think it's a movie for everybody. It's not just for musical theater nerds. I think it's a movie for anybody that has a dream at all in the arts, who feel like they're lonely. It's a great movie. It's my favorite movie of the year. I've been waiting for it. It met all my expectations. I've watched it a half a dozen times already. And I absolutely positively love it. Even though
was your number one? That's
awesome. My number one movie. Yep.
I mean, we have been talking about it all year. For all the people who have been here since the beginning, they know. Yeah. They feel it with you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they haven't been listening.
I know, right?
Yeah, Tick, Tick, Boom. That's on both of our lists. But I have one more movie that I just saw. It was the last movie I saw in theaters, actually, of the year. And that is Licorice Pizza. It is, like you've said, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And the cool thing about this movie is he's collaborating with Alana Haim, who's from Haim, the band. And he wrote this part specifically for her. And he wrote the part specifically for Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, Cooper Hoffman. And the more I learn about Cooper Hoffman, the more I'm interested. But he didn't want to get into acting, and then until he did. and this was a good debut for him. And I'm very, because he has a lot of charisma for not acting, but I guess it's like working with a family friend, I guess. And his performance shows that. So Cooper Hoffman, the main character, does a great job in Licorice Pizza, and Alana Haim does a good job too. She's the movie is it has its problems as well, kind of, because Alana Haim plays a 25-year-old in 73, and she meets this 15-year-old played by Cooper Hoffman, and he just keeps creating businesses as things fall apart, like business by business. He just creates business after business, and she's very intrigued by this kid. And it's a very good, well shot movie, well acted movie, and Sean Penn's in it and as well. I would just suggest watching it. So Licorice Pizza.
And isn't Bradley Cooper in that as well?
Oh yeah, Bradley Cooper's in it. I almost forgot, actually. Yeah,
I really want to see that. I've heard plenty of things that like it's like his best. It's his best movie since Boogie Nights, but it's his most feel good and romantic since Punch Drunk Love, which I think is cool. Good like parallel, because those are my two favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. So that closes out our book of favorites of 2021. Are you gonna toss your notebook? But that wraps up our first episode of 2022. Justin, are you excited for the year?
I am. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on, so I can't wait. And there are going to be a lot of movies that we're going to watch too. So I can't wait.
Definitely. Follow us on everything social media, History of Popcorn. We do this every Tuesday. We hope you join us. Tell us what your favorite movie was from the 2021. It's going to be hard talking about that in the past, that year. Actually, no, it's not. We don't need to talk about that year at all, actually. We can move forward. We're moving forward. Cool. Yeah, thanks for coming in again. And all you listeners, we're glad you're here. Justin, I guess I'll see you next week when we talk about what? Our most anticipated movies of 2022, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm down for that.
Let's do it. Plan. All right. Well, good luck today, Justin. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everyone.